Let's talk about the Angels, though, because that was the next thing we're going to talk about. I guess it's kind of coincidence they throw a no-hitter, but they've been maybe the hottest team in the league recently. They've had an incredible past couple of weeks since the last time we brought you guys an episode, and we figured we kind of have to talk to you guys about it. They're 21-12, which is first place in the AL West, and they have scored the most runs in the league by 5 coming into today. I'll give you points if you can guess 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, wow. 2, 3, 4. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of games that have been blowouts.
I'll give you number 4. It's your Dodgers.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they were going to be up there. Number 2, is it the Cubs?
Nope.
Because they had that 21-run performance.
Yeah, I don't think they've had very many other good performances.
No, they've had a lot of low-scoring games, but I don't know who is it?
Both National League.
Both National League. I'm not going to get it. Who
no,
is it?
It's 1 Angels, 2 Brewers, 3 Giants, 4 Dodgers.
Okay.
Which is funny because the two offenses, everyone was like, oh, kind of think they might take a step back, including myself. I was like, I don't know if the Brewers can really put up runs. They're second in the league right now. I'm kind of eating my words, and I wouldn't have guessed that the Giants have put up more runs than the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers have had a lot of low-scoring games so far, but I'm not too surprised. They've had a couple of outbursts. They haven't put it all together, so I'm excited for the Dodgers if they can put it all together. But back to the Angels, the recipe behind the success has just been their stars. Ohtani's been great. Trout's been the same. Mike Trout, he's as good as ever. The MLB released who's in the lead for MVP. Trout's number 1 for the AL. 1.188 OPS so far with a 2.6 WAR, and he's just tearing it up. And of course, Taylor Ward, as we all expected, would be the star for this Angels team, who has a 1.9 WAR, 244 WRC plus, and a 502 weighted on base average in 22 games. So, yeah, I mean, Taylor Ward, we know he'd be a star, right?
Yeah, I mean, everyone talked about Trout and Ohtani, but I was always on that Taylor Ward train. Never once mentioned Joe Adell, who he's promptly sent down to AAA with how well he's been playing. But yeah, Taylor Ward, a 502 WOBA, having 1.9 WAR through 22 games when you're Taylor Ward, I would say that really help out the Angels. But you mentioned Shohei, and it's interesting because I think that this season he has been better on the mound than he has been at the plate. I feel like the last season you would argue the other way, but so far he's still been good at the plate. 6 home runs, he still has a 126 WRC plus, 0.6 WAR at the plate, but on the mound he's been fantastic. A 2.78 ERA, a 2.11 FIP, and 12.8 strikeouts per 9 innings, and that kind of was marked by a huge performance in his debut in Fenway Park. 7 innings, 6 hits, no walks, and 11 strikeouts of pure dominance. He had a negative FIP in that game.
I kind of knew Shohei could do this on the mound. I mean, we've seen him pitch. He throws close to 100, if not touching 100. He's got the nasty stuff on the mound. So
that splitter is just unhittable.
We kind of knew that Shohei was capable of this on the mound, and we know what he can do at the plate. We saw that last season. But we kind of thought if he could put this together, I mean, he could put up even more insane season than last season. I think I had him as the dark horse to potentially win the Cy Young. And, I mean, there's been some great pitching across Major League, but Shohei's been great as well.
Yeah, and there's other guys that are contributing on the Angels. Of course, we mentioned Rendon. He's been hit or miss, but he's come up clutch in a couple of moments. One thing we made a TikTok about was this huge walk-off they had the other day where they were down, I think it was 2 outs, they were down by 2, runners on first and third, and Shohei's up. He hits a ball off the wall, both runs come around to score, he's into second, and we see some emotion out of him, which is we don't really see out of him unless he strikes out some guy to end an inning. And then Rendon comes through with a single to center, but it's shallow, and Shohei with his speed comes all the way around to score and lets out the biggest yell. It was the coolest thing. That lineup can just be so dangerous when you have to face Trout, Ohtani, and then Rendon. And we saw it in another game too, where it was bases loaded. The guy it was either his debut or he's brand new to the majors, had to face Trout with the bases loaded and kind of got around it, then had to face Ohtani, who took him deep for a grand slam.
And I think that's what's different about this Angels team that we have not seen years past. Obviously, the pitching's shown up, but I think the biggest thing is the energy with this team. The crowd has shown up for the Angels, which, I mean, the Dodgers have kind of dominated the LA area recently, but the Angels crowd has shown up this season. And I think it's the energy with the team as well. You mentioned Shohei showing emotion. I think that's the biggest thing. And, I mean, they've got the cowboy hat now, home run celebration. So I think the chemistry is kind of coming together, and they're showing energy, and I think that's what's helping them win games so far.
Yeah, huge shout outs also to Jared Walsh, who really came on strong. He put up the most fantasy points on my lineup last week. I was pretty excited. He's got 6 home runs. It feels like all of them came last week. Syndergaard has been effective. Brandon Marsh has been really good. Raisel Iglesias has been just as good as he was last year. So a huge shout out to this Angels lineup. They're doing what we, not that what we thought they couldn't do, but I didn't really see them putting together this full coherent performance up to this point. I think we were either going to get the hitting or get the pitching. Didn't really feel like we'd get them on the same day, and they've absolutely been doing that. Patrick Sandoval too, just to name another guy.
Yeah, we kind of thought that the Angels could be a playoff team, or at least in playoff contention, but we didn't think they'd be leading the AL West this far, and it kind of posed the question, Jack, do you think the Angels can win the AL West?
I absolutely do. That being said, the Astros are the Astros, and we haven't really seen them miss a beat. Right now, they trail the Angels in the standings, but it's still close. And we've seen them be competitive against the Angels so far this year. It's definitely possible. I'd really root for it. I think the Angels winning the AL West would be so good for baseball. Just as long as they make the playoffs, getting them in that conversation. To be the AL West winners would be huge. Right now, the Astros sit at 19-11, only a couple games behind the Angels. We've seen some of the other teams in that AL West really fall off, like the Mariners are at 14-18. So my guess is it'll be between the Angels and the Astros. If I had to make a prediction now, yeah, I'm gonna lean the Anaheim.
I'm still going to be with the Astros on this one. I mean, they've been hot. I don't want to, trust me. If anyone doesn't want to root for the Astros, it's me. But I'm still leaning towards the Astros just because their experience so far, and they've been heating up. Their pitching's coming together. Justin Verlander seems like he's back to his old self. So I think the Angels, if I had to pick right now, I think they're a playoff team, a wild card team, especially with the expanded playoffs. But I still got the Astros to win the AL West.
Interesting. I mean, I can't hate it. The Astros are who they are. We've seen them do it year in, year out.